Hello. Welcome to the TV room. David Bradley here. I was just looking up like that to make sure the microphone here that's on my hat, as long as it's got a little green light on, it should be working. Anyway, we're looking at discs. And of course I found, oh, look, if you were here before, you saw, look, it's clip art. To go with Print Shop. Clip art. To go with Print Shop. Print Shop was a great program. You could do banners and things, and what it really did was spawn the poor usage of fonts, because people could put together like newsletters with all these little boxes here and there and put in different fonts and different things and little pictures and stuff in every little box. But, right, oh, here's one. Diagnostic 64. Interesting. I think I'll set that aside. Aha! Paperclip 3 by Stephen Douglas. A wonderful program. Absolutely wonderful. This one would be, I'm sure, for the... This side, Paperclip 3, C128 disc. Reverse side, dictionary disc. And print. Oh, this is for the Commodore 128. Ooh, I'm going to set that one aside, too. Got to test these things. Now here's a beautiful thing. X10 Powerhouse. And for those that don't know, and they're still around, I think, X10 modules. I use them here and there, because sometimes I have, especially down in the pet room, I have lights that I can't get to, but I want to be able to turn them off and on. So I have these modules, and they plug in, and then you plug the thing into it. There's appliance and lamp modules. I like the appliance ones better, but the lamp ones supposedly give you some dimming advantages and other things. And also the appliance ones go clunk, because I guess there's a relay, and the light modules are quiet. But also I think with today's modern LED bulbs, they do sometimes weird things where they don't quite shut off. But anyway, they're magical because you can be sitting in one spot and boom, boom, boom. And I've seen photographers use these things where they have a big setup on the go, because you can have up to 8 on, I guess you'd have 16 on one thing, because you set codes. Like, say you decided that your house code is D. Then you can have all kinds of modules set at different things. You can also have modules set at the same thing if they're all to go together. And then there's a little switch on the box where you can then decide to go to the second bunch of things. So you can have 16. So if you're in the midst of things, I suppose in a rudimentary way, even if you were doing a little show or a little play with lights that weren't too big, you could, I mean, that could be the lighting board. You couldn't dim or whatever, but you could switch the lighting around and turn off lights, turn lights on. And but I've seen photographers do things where they have all these different lights set up with modules. So without having to run around and turn on lights and stuff, they can just be, back wherever and say, okay, we want that and that and that. And that could be for colors. It could be for, completely different setups. But I mean, when you think of it, if you had 16 different things and you had the module, well, mind you can always have more than one control thing there. But see, because you could have a whole bunch of ones set as D1 and D2 and D3, so you could really do incredible things. Anyway, but this disc here, where did I put it? Oh, Powerhouse. What it was for, and I'm pretty sure it's for the Commodore 64. It is. Anyway, they made an interface that went in the 64. And the other thing that was great about X10 Powerhouse stuff is what you could do is basically program your house to look like you were there when you were away. And so you have modules, light and appliance modules. You got to make sure don't put them on a heater. Don't put them on something that could fall over and cause trouble. But certainly lights away from curtains and all that would be good. Also, stereos, radios, things that make noise. And so you could program when you go away to have things happen. And they also made light. I guess they actually made things you could replace your regular power receptacle with. So you didn't have to have something plugged in. They also made light switches. So you didn't necessarily need the modules, but, then you could move them around. So you could indeed have your outside lights come on. And here's another beautiful thing. Like if people are casing your house and they say, hey, look, every night at 7:15 the lights come on, and every night at maybe 9:20 they go off. Well, they're on a timer. They're away. They're trying to fool us. But there was a way in there you could set it on. I'm not sure it was called security or whatever, where in the vicinity of that time it would do things. So there was a variation in time. So the whole thing was to fool people to think that you were home. And of course, if you had stereo or a radio and you put it somewhere that it could hear, or you could leave it where it was and just crank up the volume and have it going, and like have the bathroom light come on at a certain time or within the random thing, and do all kinds of things to basically make it look like we're home, don't rob us. Beautiful, beautiful thing. The actually, I think the interface that went in and that you could connect, I think it only had 8 channels. But still, you could, but you could have more than one thing plugged into those, or programmed to each number, so you could have all kinds of things happening. All kinds of things. And I have used it for that, and mostly it was stereo, lights. I don't think I ever did outside lights because the modules are not waterproof. Although I suppose, if you had them where there was no chance of them getting hit with water, you could do that. Anyway, great things, great things. I'll try somewhere, now that I have this, somewhere I'm sure I have the interface, and I have the program where on the Commodore 64 you can, and I believe it was a graphic-based thing, you could, go and click on things and do things and program things. Magical. What else is here? Paperclip for the 64. Also by Batteries Included and Stephen Douglas. Another beautiful thing with built-in spell pack, which was their spell checker thing. Now here's something. I have no idea what this is. Juggler 128. This program provides support for more than 130 CPM discs. Interesting. Okay, this I need to investigate. Oh, look. 1571 test demo disc. Always handy. I don't know why these things don't have sleeves. I don't. Now here is something that it's funny. This is a disc. It's the Smog Christmas Medley. And Smog, PD58. Merry Christmas. Smog was the Sarasota Manatee Amiga users group. And Smog was also a dragon. And I think maybe it was Lord of the Rings. So kind of the logo was the dragon. And a very incredibly talented fellow who designed cars for Ford was involved in the club, and he did lots on the newsletter and came up with the logo. And John Najar was his name. If you ever are looking around, it was JOHNNAJJAR, and people don't understand this, people don't believe it, but he says, oh yeah, Lee Iacocca came up with the idea for the Mustang, but it was not. It was John Najar. And at some point, maybe I'll do a video on John and the stories he told me of the Ford Mustang. That it was his baby. It was his idea. He came up with it. Absolutely, positively, it was not. Like Lee Iacocca and others were the big executives who said, oh yeah, let's do that. But it was John Najar who came up with it. Anyway, this, I'm sure, is an Amiga thing, because of course it's the Sarasota Manatee Amiga users group. Funny thing is, I became president of that club. I didn't intend to, but I did. But we had a great system. It was absolutely the best thing in that nobody did too much. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people did little things. I may have told this story before. There was one fellow who was handy and helpful and always, nice. Um, and we had our meetings in a community room of a bank, which meant that sometime in the afternoon of the day before, somebody had to go to the bank and get the key. And the next day, somebody had to take the key back. And he lived close by, and he was, pretty good with computers and pretty handy and always helpful and very friendly. But that was what he did. That's all he did. He came to meetings and he participate, but his contribution to the club was get the key, take the key back. So it was really great. And because I know with a lot of organizations, you get one person doing everything, or, lots of people who think they're doing things that aren't doing anything. And it is tough with volunteer organizations. But in this case, it was quite wonderful. We had many, many people who didn't do very much, and that was what was expected of them. Don't do very much. Just do your little bit. And it went very, 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 very well. Now, here is something. Oh, look, hang on. Here's another 1571 test demo disc. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, now this is interesting. Hang on. I'm going to have to look at this. Oh, this could be legendary. BBBBS. That stood for the Bradley Brothers Bulletin Board System. How to 8050. And underneath, on an old TPUG disc when they were at 1912A Avenue Road, BBBBS Word Profiles Stuff 8050. This is the kind of stuff I've been looking for decades. And here it is. What is this thing? Word Pro Dumb 8050. Well, I hope these work. Because you see, we used to use WordPro to do bulletins. Why did we use WordPro to do bulletins and things? Well, the program was written by Steve Punter for the bulletin board. He also wrote WordPro, so it made sense. What is this? Public domain solution. Yeah. Ultimate utilities. And it's in my handwriting. Ultimate utilities. So these discs. My golly, Miss Molly, this is quite a find. It is. So I'm going to keep going. Certainly, here we have. I don't know if anybody uses Print Shop or Newsroom anymore. Yeah, this is cool. It's got the Print Shop Graphic Maker, Print Shop Label Maker, which is probably what made these labels. Print Shop, Print Master, NR, Newsroom, converter. Beautiful. Beautiful. So all kinds of magical things that need to be looked at. But for the moment, that's it for now. We'll see you at the World of Commodore December 1st and November 30th of 2024 at the Admiral Inn in Mississauga, Ontario. Go to tpug.ca, tpug.ca for details. Till then, have a lovely day. Bye for now.